he will carry it in over the line. He has given the goal.
Of the Erin County. We're here this evening for the ETC Biomed Fermanagh Senior Football League game between two unbeaten sides, and indeed the two sides who contested last year's final, that is Ederney and Derrygonnelly Harps. Ederney's pitch is undergoing some repairs, so their near neighbours in Tyrone this evening, that's Dromore, have facilitated their requirements by hosting this game in Gardrum Park. I'm joined this evening by one of Dromore's most famous sons, it's fair to say. That's none other than Ryan McMenamin, 3 times All-Ireland winner and the current Fermanagh Senior Football Manager. Ryan, you're very welcome to Fermanagh GA TV.
Oh, thanks very much, Jared. Glad to be here.
You hadn't travelled too far this evening?
No. It was handy, God. I'd like to tell you the truth. So it was handy than going to Canale. So.
Yeah. And look at you, you've been steeped in this club for so many years now. What's your current involvement? I know you're a busy man with Fermanagh, but I know you still have loyalties to Dromore, and of course you're involved with St McCartan's ladies as well. So, well, with no involvement with Fermanagh at the minute, what's your involvements here?
My involvement's here probably for the first time in a long time. I'm just a supporter, so and I'm enjoying that there end of it there. So it's good to watch the boys out playing. Since you watch them in the league at the minute, so we're going all right in the league, and we're hoping for the championship. But no, I'm just a supporter at the minute. So
is it fair to say, and this we can reveal this exclusively tonight on Fermanagh GA TV, that Ryan McMenamin has put a big 6-inch nail up and hung the boots up? No, I know you played a bit last year.
I kiffled about last year, and probably I'd say my good times is gone there. So.
Right.
They're long gone. 6 inches. I think maybe it could have been 3 or 4 years ago. Maybe they should have been hung up.
Oh well, and you're still involved, of course, with St McCartan's, the ladies' team, and I suppose it's an interesting time in that you now get the opportunity to get round Fermanagh League games as well and get a look at new players or a look at current players and see what sort of form they're in.
No, definitely, and it's something that's unique that we didn't really have a chance in before, when the league was always going. Maybe the Throne Leagues was going. You were caught in between the two. But look, we're more than happy. I think Paul's here tonight, and all the management team have been around a lot of the games. You know, we're seeing a lot of good football, and we're seeing maybe the county players are playing well. The boys are in the squad, but then there's a lot of young boys that are stepping up at the minute to play well, and like there's definitely a few that have caught the eye, and we're hoping to see a few more here today. And look, as I said, the squad's always open, and at the same time for the boys in the squad, like the door's always open to go out as well. So look, there's going to be a bit of competition, and probably looking at the way the championship's going to be later on in the year, it's all going to be about form and what players are going to be formed, because it's going to be hard to pick up the form straight away, because you don't have that usually long run that you usually had with training. You could have maybe 5-6 weeks. This is going to be bang.
And really, when it comes to mid-October, you have 3 must-win games. You have 2 in the league, and then you have the down game. So that's what you need players at the peak of their powers. Then basically. You
do, and you need the players at the peak of their powers, and you need the players at the peak of their form. So it's going to be very, very hard for players if they're not in form. Come September, it's going to be very, very hard for us to get them up to speed. So we're going to use this league, and so we're hoping all the boys can play really well in this here and keep the form going by then.
Yeah, and I know you've integrated a lot of the younger players into a larger squad while you can't meet as a group, but I know that some of them have been doing some work in the gym and whatever, and that's been pleasing you.
Yeah, look, I think a lot of the boys in the lockdown, you'd fellas like Lorcan McStravick put in a great shift over the lockdown and really worked on the thing and worked on his own game, and I think that's probably in the first 2 games of the league he's knocked over 11 points and he's knocked over 5 points, and I think his game has really matured. And you have other young players like like Josh Largo Ellis has stood out in the first 2 games. You have young players like that there who have come in, and maybe a lot of people mightn't outside Fermanagh haven't heard of them, but you'd hope to see in the next year or two that they're going to become household names outside it.
Yeah, you have 2 more tonight. I'm just thinking back to the team that played, or the players that played for St Michael's in the Hogan Cup. I suppose 2 that come to mind tonight is Ronan McHugh and Paul McKervey. So I suppose you'll be keeping a keen eye on those 2 gents as well, as well as a few others, I'm sure.
Yeah, look, you've Micheál Glynn in there as well, you know, which is probably
That's right, yeah.
and he's probably taken to the senior football well. He's scored 1-5 in his first game. So, and look, as I said, like you've some really good young footballers in Fermanagh, just integrating them, but at the same time too, we're not ruling out the Dowler boys in the panel as well, or the Dowler boys in around that we're always going to look on if there's a fella that we think's picked up form or whatever and warrants a chance to come in. We have no problem with that.
Yeah, and I suppose it's strange maybe for you to see 2 Fermanagh teams playing a league game in Dromore. What are you expecting here tonight from both sides? It looks as if Derrygonnelly are fairly full strength, whereas maybe the Ederney boys seem to be missing 4 or 5 big name players.
Yeah, look, I think probably they're missing a few. I think Finbar Gillies been playing, or Gillen's been playing really well for them, and I think he's working in Dublin. So look, it's just one of them things. If it's in the Connolly game was a good hard game of football, and it was a good game of football, and we're expecting to see it tonight. Is probably one of the things that we are finding is that the game is played, is that the football has been played at a good pace, and that's what we want. We want the Fermanagh League to be probably one of the strongest leagues, or trying to be one of the best leagues in Ulster.
Yeah, well, it's an opportunity. We look out in the pitch there behind us, and it's an opportunity for us now to take our place in the commentary box, because I see both teams in the huddle, and we want to get the team news out to you. So we'll move to our place in the commentary box, Ryan, and we'll pick up the commentary in a moment or two. So our referee for this evening's game is Jared Goller, the Devonish man. He's just about to get things underway. I'll look to see, can I get a stopwatch out of the bag and try to give you a team. If the game commences, we'll get you started. So the teams, Derrygonnelly, will start quickly with them as Jack Kelly in goals. As the referee Jared Gollard throws in the ball, well taken in the centre of the field. We'll come back to the teams in a moment. Ball won there by Ederney, and driven forward there by Cassidy, and they're looking for Paul McCusker. McCusker wearing number 11, playing centre half forward. Oh, a heavy challenge there on Sean Cassidy. Does well, retains possession, gets it out there to Gollagly. Gollagly gets it back to the wing half back. That's Niall McGrath. McGrath gives it back there one more time to Conor McGee. McGee, possession football back to Chris Snow. Normally see Chris wearing the number 1 shirt, but today he's playing centre half back. Paul McKervey. McKervey lays the ball off. An opportunity for the first pop of the goals from the Ederney men. It came from the wing half back. That was Luke Harn, but Harn's shot has gone to the left hand side and drifted wide. First wide of the game.
Yeah, first wide of the game, and it looks. See, with you're looking there at Paul McCusker playing in at 14 here now. Paul, he had a great game. He had a great game on Sunday at centre half forward. So maybe it's a tactical move, maybe by Ederney, you know. So
opportunity now for Derrygonnelly in the shape of Lee Jones. In possession there, lays it there to the full forward. That's Micheál Glynn, calm and assured in possession, gives it back out there towards Gary McKenna. McKenna missed a lot of last year's championship because he was away travelling. Back in the familiar maroon and gold of Derrygonnelly Harps, gets it there to one of the stalwarts of the team. That's Eamon McHugh, gets it to another one, Decky Casty, 45 metres out from goal, lays it back there to Micheál Glynn looking to get a little bit of space onto the trusty left foot. Glynn goes for the post. That's an excellent effort from Micheál Glynn. Super score from Glynn. He came all the way around on the loop, and he was 48 metres out and popped over the bar. Super score.
That was a brilliant score by Glynn. He picked it up, he soloed with his right and then dummied into his left, and it's a fantastic score from Glynn, you know, and as I said, he's taking the senior football well.
Yeah, he's playing with a lot of confidence, Ryan.
He is, and it's
as the ball is kicked out there and breaks favourably for the Derrygonnelly men, and won there by McGullion. Loses out on this occasion, and Paul McCurvey picks it up. Not a good ball inside, and it's easy gathered there by Stephen McGullion. McGullion is fouled. The referee awards the free, and the ball now comes over this side of the field towards Lee Jones. Jones lays it back there to his namesake, Mickey Jones, or Eamon McHugh it is instead. Eamon McHugh has it. McHugh to Micheál Glynn. Glynn drifting. Gives it a short ball there to Decky Casty lays it back to him, McHugh onto the left foot, well blocked on that occasion there by Declan McCusker, and Ederney turned this one over, and the ball is in the hands of Sean Casty drifting out the field while he's playing further out the field, as you say. Paul McCusker playing inside as Ederney patiently build up here. We're broadcasting to you live from Gardrum Park in Dromore as Ederney come on the attack. Ball fetched inside there by Paul McCusker, and the referee, well, it's not Paul McCusker, in fact it's Darren McCusker. So we have 3 McCuskers on the team, and Darren is wearing number 19. So
he's in for Ryan Morris.
Yeah, Ryan Morris picked up a hamstring injury, and well, we'll get to the teams in a wee moment, maybe after this kick here, and it looks like Paul McCusker is going to take this kick. They look very, very similar to Paul McCusker and Darren McCusker, but this is definitely Paul. Kicks it right footed, not that confident when he kicked it, but the umpires have signalled it's gone to the left and gone wide. Another wide for the Ederney men. So we'd quickly maybe give you some of the Derrygonnelly team. Jack Kelly in goals, and he's the man with this kick out. Aidan McKenna's 2, Tiernan Daly's 3, Mickey Jones is 4, Lee Jones is 5, Eamon McHugh 6, Garv McGinley 7. Then midfielder Stephen McGullion and Ryan Jones. Half forward line is Ronan McHugh, Garvin Jones and Declan Casty. Full forward line of Stephen Gilroy, Micheál Glynn and Guy McKenna. That completes the Derrygonnelly side. One notable name, I suppose, or 2 notable names I would suggest from your perspective missing there tonight, Ryan, is Colin Jones. He's injured, and Shane McGullion.
Yeah, look, I think Colin he had a broken nose there, and maybe he got a banging at a couple of Fridays at training, and I think just Shane's picked up a knock as well. So I think probably with the championship not being too far away, I'd say it's a more precaution than anything else.
You're watching this broadcast on Fermanagh GAA Live, coming to you from Gardrum Park in Dromore. Ederney versus Derrygonnelly Harps. It's Harps who lead by a point, and the ball is in the hands of an Ederney man. That's Sean Casty. Casty lays it back inside to Harn. Crossfield ball there, looking for Decky McCusker. McCusker takes on his man, goes round his man. Still McCusker slips it one more time over the far side of the field. Paul McCurvey gets the shot in. McCurvey's shot is on its way, and it's gone to the left and wide as well. Well, the umpires are certainly aren't helping us here.
I don't think the umpire. I think they're afraid to make a call here. They're kind of maybe looking at each other there. Yeah. So I don't think. I'm not too sure what they're planning, but.
Well, there's not a lot of action in the manner, it has to be said. We've had 3 wides, and none of them have been signalled as yet. But the scoreboard indicates that there's been no score to Ederney. So Derrygonnelly lead by a point, and Ederney have possession of the football. It's in the hands there of Declan McCusker. McCusker coming forward, good ball inside, lays it back there towards Sean Casty. Casty looks up, Casty 45 metres out, gives it inside there to McCusker. McCusker gathers it, tackles go on strong. Did he overcarry it? Referee says no. Good cluster tackling there by the Harps, and coming out with it there is Garvin Jones. Jones to Decky Casty. Casty looks up, drives it forward nearly. Ball down inside there. That looked like a foul on Guy McKenna. Referee awards the free. Maybe an opportunity for me to give you the Ederney team. And Ferris is in goals. Ryan McGrath wearing 2, Michael Maguire is 3, Paul Maguire is 4. Half-back line of Luke Hearn 5, Chris Snow is 6, and Niall McGrath is 7. Middle of the field is Owen McGee, and number 9 is Conor McGee. Number 10 is Paul McKervey. 11 is Paul McCusker. 12 is Declan McCusker. And the full forward line is Cormac Gollagly. Number 14 is Sean Cassidy, and number 19 is Darren McCusker, as we watch Gary McKenna line up this free. Chance to put Derrygonnelly 2 in front. Will it curl? Will it curl? It won't. It's gone to the right hand side and gone wide. First wide of the game for Derrygonnelly Harps. We've played 6.5 minutes here in Gardrum Park. Your thoughts on the opening exchanges?
Yeah, I think it's a bit edgy from both teams. I think there's a lot of respect out there, probably even from the league final from last year, and probably even from the meetings in the championship. There's a lot of respect between these teams. The two teams have been battling maybe the last couple of years as should they be the top team in Fermanagh.
Yeah, you couldn't argue that these two teams are watching here tonight. I know Derrygonnelly have most of the silverware, but Ederney have certainly put it up to them on numerous occasions. Brilliant tackle there, super tackle by McCusker on Ryan Jones. Excellent play by Paul McCusker. He ran 20 metres to come in behind, and then he spoils it all. He came in behind there to stop as a little bit of nonsense happens here on our left hand side. The two number 12s, Decky Cassidy and Decky McCusker, certainly getting to know themselves or each other there as we follow the play now, and the ball is in the hands of Gary McKenna. McKenna still in possession. McKenna gets a shot away. That's an excellent effort by Gary McKenna, and he's another one who's a fine addition to this Derrygonnelly team. A man who was away, as I said, last year, most of the year travelling, but a fine addition to Derrygonnelly.
I think he is, and probably as you've seen probably with Gary and even Micheál Glenn all there, it has great pace. The two boys work together. I think as soon as Micheál got that ball, he just took them on straight away, and then when Gary went on the loop, and he punished Ederney straight away.
Yeah, good score for the Harps, and they now lead 2 points to no score. We've played 8 minutes here in the opening half in Gardrum Park in Dromore, as Sean Cassidy fields the ball and delivers it long. Not a great ball on this occasion, a little bit aimless, and it goes to the left hand side and goes wide. Another wide for Ederney, and they'll be disappointed with 4 wides and no scores in these opening 9 minutes.
Yeah, look, I think
Ryan,
they're going to get a hot ball there now. But yeah, look, they're going to be disappointed. Maybe they had 4 good chances. They were in control a lot of the ball, and probably they're just trying to force that too. I think they were just trying to force it too much there.
Yeah, so referee spotted the kick wasn't taken from the
correct spot,
so he's going to throw up the ball, is it? Yeah. Jared Goller is our referee for this evening's game. A lot of players in around that small area, but it's the big man Stephen McGullion who wins it quite comfortably, comes out for it, but now gives it away, and the ball is in the hands of the Ederney man. Is that Cassidy got that shot away? Yeah. And over the bar it goes. That's a fine score by Sean Cassidy. He hadn't a lot of room to operate in there.
He didn't have a lot of room. I think Stephen McGullion was looking a free maybe, and it looked to be a free, but in fairness to Ederney, they played on.
Yeah, ball drifts over the top. Well, Derrygonnelly would have been looking at the advantage there at that occasion, but the referee pulled it back as Gary McKenna comes forward with it now again for the Derrygonnelly man. McKenna listening to the pleas from the sideline to go at them, and that's what he tried to do on that occasion. Gives it back to Aidan McKenna. McKenna crossfield ball to McHugh. McHugh eventually to McGullion. McGullion onto the right foot. McGullion's shot looks good. McGullion's shot goes over the bar. Another player playing with confidence, you can tell.
Yeah, look, it is well worked score in there, and probably at the minute Ederney's been punished all the time here now. I think there's been 4 attacks, and Ederney scored 3, and they've been very economical on it, so they're probably, once Ederney attacks here now, they're going to have to either start, they're going to have to get the scores here.
Yeah, well, this is the 3rd round of the ETC Biomed Senior Football League, a new sponsor of the senior leagues in Fermanagh. That's ETC Biomed, and they are also joint sponsors of our broadcast here tonight, along with Kevin and Bernard Farrell from the local convenience Spar store in Derrygonnelly, great supporters of Derrygonnelly and Fermanagh football. And of course, as I say, ETC, safety and sustainability and personal protective equipment, suppliers of all types of PPE. Just log on to their website www.etcbiomed.com for further information about this transatlantic partnership company. Delighted to have them on board with Fermanagh GA supporting this broadcast and supporting the Fermanagh Senior Football Leagues. More details on them later on in this broadcast as we watch Derrygonnelly come forward again, this time in the shape of Decky Casty. Casty gives it there to Micheál Glynn. Glynn lays it to McKenna. Seems to be a nice synergy between McKenna and Glynn as the ball goes back in there towards Decky Casty. Casty over towards Ryan Jones. Jones late getting to the game this evening, held up, but he's getting into his stride now, and that's dangerous for Ederney as the ball is picked up by McGullion. McGullion lays it off there to Aidan McKenna. McKenna over the far side of the field to Lee Jones. Jones to Ronan McHugh. McHugh back to Aidan McKenna. Possession football is the name of the game for the Harps. As the ball cross field, not a good ball on that occasion, given away by Garvin McGinley, picked up by Sean Casty. Casty lays it off to Decky McCusker, to his brother Paul, back to Decky. It's good football. That's a robust challenge there, and the referee might want to have a word with Tiernan Daly. Calls him forward. Your thoughts on that one?
I think you had to take one for the team there.
Yeah, it was a good move, to be fair. The two McCuskers were linking up well.
They were linking up well, and probably they were caught with a flat pass there, Derrygonnelly. So look, I think Tiernan did what he had to do there. He probably had to make it not look like a black card, but he worked it well.
Yeah, yellow card, first yellow card of the game, and it goes the way of Tiernan Daly, and I suppose creates an opportunity for Ederney and Chris Snow. And Chris Snow, we certainly know that he'll have the distance. He's 43 metres out, and it's all about accuracy here now for the man that we usually associate with doing goals. Has gone to the right and gone wide. They're fifth wide of the game.
And again, I think the umpires we're still I think they just don't want to wave wide, maybe.
They're relaxing, they're taking it easy. They're out in Trome for the evening, so they don't want to be exercising themselves too much. As the ball drops there, and again Chris Snow first to react, picks it up, good ball inside to Cormac Gallagher. Gallagher gives it inside, looking for Casty. Casty gives it back, but ball given away. Decky Casty picks it up. Casty lays it to Ryan Jones. Meanwhile, Chris Snow is down, hasn't got up yet. We'll follow that in a moment. Ronan McHugh has it for Derrygonnelly. McHugh lays it off there to the trusty Garvin McGinley. McGinley kicks it right footed down there towards Lee Jones. Lee Jones gathers possession for Derrygonnelly Harps, gets it back there to Garvin Jones. Garvin slips it inside. This is good move. It's on to Glynn. Glynn onto the left foot. Glynn gets the shot away. That one sails over the bar as well from Micheál Glynn, and well, he's poured the emotion out there, isn't he?
No, he's very, very good there. There's a nice score. You knew when he came off the sideline. You know, he's well coached and through St. Max and Derrygonnelly. He came off there. He maybe a wee bit over carrying, maybe a bit long, but look, you have to give the advantage to the forward player when he comes off like that there.
Two super scores from Micheál Glynn, and that second score there edges them into a 3-point lead, 4 points to 1, as that free is given against Ryan Jones, and Ederney will get a free. I suppose it's fair to say that Ederney are without Declan Deasley, Stephen McElrowan, Enda Cassidy, Manus Maguire, Finbar Gillen, and on the subs bench tonight is Marty McGrath, Mark McCauley. So they're certainly depleted, Ryan.
Yeah, look, they're down numbers. You know, Mark McCauley, he came on sub there, and he was injured there for a lot of weeks there, so he was back against Connolly. He came on the last 20 minutes and kind of turned the game for when they were under pressure. You know, so look, they do have players that come off the bench now. Whether they decide to use them tonight is another question.
Yeah, Chris Snow feeds it forward. I suppose the intention would be to hang in this game until those last 15-20 minutes, when maybe the likes of Jacob Britton, Marty McGrath and Mark McCauley might be able to enter the fray and give them something extra in those last 15-20 minutes of the game. But they're trailing 4 points to 1, and to be fair, Derrygonnelly have been very efficient in front of the posts and look to be very much in control of the game as the referee decides that the ball has been picked to the ground on that occasion, and the free will go the way of Ederney. And picking it up there is Conor McGee. McGee brings it into trouble but does well, still striding forward. Conor McGee, can he get a shot away? He does, looks good. Well, it's gone to the right and gone wide. It's gone wide. Eventually we got a signal out of an umpire. So that's Ederney's 6th wide in these opening 15 minutes. So we're now into 4 quarters in games now. So the first 15 have been played, and we'll have this water break. What's your thoughts on the water break idea?
to me, probably it's usually the last quarter. Probably I think it kind of messes with players' heads at the minute, because usually like the game could be nip and tuck, and then they take the quarter break, and then it's been happening now that teams now have come out and whoever gets the tactics right. It's more now tactics than anything else. It's like a timeout. Now it's really, you're meant to be on and off, but now teams are using this now to their advantage, and they are going to use their length on this here. So as long as possible. But to me, probably it's funny. It's going to take a lot of players to get used to it.
Yeah, we're right in front here of Sean Flanagan and Brendy Razzle, and they're delivering a strong, robust message to their players. Gives me an opportunity to once again thank our sponsors of tonight's broadcast. That's Kevin and Bernard Farrell from the local convenience Spar store in Derrygonnelly, who, as we know, are great supporters of Derrygonnelly and Fermanagh football, and also the sponsors of tonight's broadcast, and also the new sponsors of the Senior Football League. That's ETC Biomed, safety and sustainability in personal protective equipment, suppliers of all types of PPE. And just log on to their website. It's www.etcbiomed, that's BIOMED.com, www.etcbiomed.com for further information about how you can make contact and support this new transatlantic partnership company, ETC Biomed. So Sean Flanagan has delivered his message. Meanwhile, Michael Cassidy and Sean Donnelly are over in the huddle still with the Ederney boys, and I'd say they have a little more to say than maybe Sean Flanagan had to say.
Yeah, well, look, again, I say Ederney would be happy enough, probably even if they are down numbers or whatever, but there's still only a score in it, and they have kicked 6 wides, and probably they've had chances. Maybe they're happy enough that Derrygonnelly maybe haven't pushed ahead, but at the same time, see, Derrygonnelly's really only been restricted to them 4 or 5 attacks at the same time.
Yeah. So play will resume with kick out from Jack Kelly. Paul Ward down in front of me making a bit of noise, looking to get back into this team, I'm sure. Still recovering from that bad injury last year. The ball has slipped forward now to Jones. Jones gets a shot away, and Jones pops that one over the bar. Garvin Jones on that occasion. So very, very efficient and very effective in front of goals, Ryan. I've noticed.
It was very, very efficient there. Maybe if Garvin looked up, Ryan was running straight through the middle there. Couldn't have been. I'm sure Ryan's going to maybe mention that there, maybe tonight, or maybe in the family WhatsApp group. There could be a question or two.
But I think he probably done the right thing.
He probably did the right thing.
Particularly in the way the game is at the moment.
The game is the moment, and it's kind of a game. Maybe it's a kind of a score that straight off the water break puts Ederney under all sorts of pressure here at the minute.
Yeah, Ederney certainly need the next score, you would think, and they're in possession of the football there with Declan McCusker, and he gets it back to the fullback, Michael Maguire. Maguire, ball just about reached Paul Maguire. Back it goes, crossfield. Derrygonnelly working very hard to close Ederney down. There's another example of it on this occasion. Aidan McKenna putting in the tackles. That's a bit harsh.
It's I think maybe it was a bit harsh. It was. I think maybe but I think probably that's at the minute it sums up Ederney. Maybe they're a bit too slow trying to get out of defence, and it's given Derrygonnelly time to get back in and set up. But then you have to see the quality of the tackling of the front three of Derrygonnelly have been very, very good.
Yeah, very impressed indeed as they come forward now with Gary McKenna. McKenna looks up, gives it back there to Eamon McHugh. McHugh slips it one more time there to Aidan McKenna. McKenna back to Ryan Jones. Jones gives it over towards Garvin McGinley. McGinley, normally associated with the other side of the pitch, drifted over this side back to Glenn. Glenn, a little bit of a tussle between Glenn and Michael Maguire there, 2 big lads marking one another. The ball eventually goes over the far side to Lee Jones. Jones leaves it one more time to Garvin Jones. Jones lays it off to Decky Cassidy, and now eventually comes the whole way out to Gary McKenna, who was involved in the move at the very start over this side. Back it goes to Glenn. Glenn gives it inside to Gary McKenna. These two linking up every time they're in possession of the football. Back inside to Stephen McGullion. Sean Flanagan giving the instructions out to be patient. Well, Derrygonnelly have certainly been that, playing across the 45, looking to create that little bit of space as Garvin McGinley tries to penetrate, but instead comes across the field again, switches the play over there now towards the corner forward. Gary McKenna. McKenna looks up, looks for support, has it there in the shape of McHugh. Back to McKenna, but this time he looked to feed it to Micheál Glenn, but it went the whole way over to Cassidy and goes back to Glenn. Glenn goes back to Tiernan Daly. Tiernan Daly, Ederney of every player inside their own 45-metre line as the ball comes forward there with Gavin McGinley. McGinley to Daly. Daly back to McKenna. McKenna looks up to Daly. Daly back to Jones. Jones gives it inside to Glynn. Micheál Glynn, left foot, it goes to the post. This is wonderful football from Derrygonnelly, and what a finish from Micheál Glynn. This lad is just a shining star out here tonight. Micheál Glynn chips over Derrygonnelly's 6th point, but his 3rd point of the opening 18 minutes in Gardrum Park in Dromore. What a score, many passes.
Great score. There was a lot of passes, but again, you have to, the quality of them, they were patient, but you had to look at Micheál Glynn. He didn't stay in the same place. He didn't work for it. He worked hard for that score. He went from one sideline to the other. He was creating it, not there. So look, he looks to be a player here, and it's a big for Ederney this year. But the problem is the minute now, Ederney very, very slow, even trying to get out here at the minute.
Yeah, and he's hungry. He's so hungry, Micheál Glynn. You can see amount of times he was involved in that move. And I said a moment ago that Ederney needed a score, and they certainly need the next one. There's a little bit of nonsense there down below us, but the referee will sort that out, I'm sure. Tell players to get on with it. That's what they do. So Ederney have Michael Maguire, and he's sticking like a leech as best he can to Micheál Glynn, but McGlynn's movement, as you've alluded to, Ryan, is causing all sorts of problems. We'll bring you in that in a moment. It's Paul McKervey. McKervey goes to the post. McKervey gets a shot away, and that's a wonderful score by Paul McKervey. Remember the point he got in the Hogan Cup final? It was a more difficult angle, but that one there, very important score for Paul McKervey and from Ederney.
It definitely was, but I think Ederney's forwards have to do that more. They do have to start attacking when they do get that shit instead of passing it about.
Yeah, need to be more direct, I think, is the point. As Ederney come forward, or Derrygonnelly come forward again in the shape of Lee Jones. Jones runs into a little bit of trouble. Now he looks at the post, goes for the post. It's dropping. Dangerous ball. Well watched and well seen all the way into the safe hands of Enda Ferris. We're number 1 for the Ederney St. Joseph's men, and get the ball out now towards Sean Casty. Turns and goes back, needs to move the ball a little quicker. Casty needs support, needs help. Derrygonnelly have plenty of men back. The only man forward for Derrygonnelly is McCusker, the two McCusker brothers. They need support. Backwards to go again. You've alluded to the fact that they need to be more direct. That's an example of it as the ball comes out there now towards Conor McGee. McGee looks for his option, slips on the ground. I walked the ground earlier. A lot of rain in Dromore this afternoon. The pitch is slightly wet. Greasy surface, but in excellent shape here as the Ederney come forward again, this time in the shape of Owen McGee. Derrygonnelly get everybody behind the ball except 2 players, and this time the referee Jared Goller awards the free to the men from Ederney, playing on their new home patch tonight. They've had 2 games here so far and 2 successes from what I gather.
Oh yeah, no, it's very good enough. As I said, Dromore and Ederney, they're beside each other, so when Dromore were doing up there pitch, we played in Ederney as well. So look, we've there's good links in between the 2 clubs. Probably Paul, the McCuskers, I think their fathers originally from Dromore, so there's a lot of connections. Even the young Maguires.
Good to see that positivity as Chris Snow lines this one up. It looks good, but no, it's gone to the right and gone wide again. Another wide for Ederney, and that's wide number 7. And it looks to me as if Derrygonnelly are probably in more control of this game, but Ederney have created an awful lot of chances and haven't taken them.
They have, and
we'll bring you in, Ryan, in a moment as Ryan Jones comes forward. Jones, brilliant effort by Ryan Jones. That just shows you the quality of the player, really, doesn't it?
Listen, a fantastic score by Ryan, but again, you're talking about that directness. Once Ederney seem to kick it out, it seems to be slower, but there seems to be a drive. You see Mickey Jones making a great 30-40 yard dash to get ahead of the ball. Is fantastic, using his experience to get ahead. And now
that's a heavy challenge there. I think the referee got right now. I think it was high.
I think probably you have to commend the forward for putting in a tackle like that there. Yeah. I don't think he went. There was no malicious about it. But again, you look at Ederney a lot. Seemed to be a lot going sideways, going attacking with the freeze.
Yeah, well, this is more direct on this occasion. Ball fed forward, but Casty can't hold it and goes back into the safe hands. And it just shows you how mobile this Derrygonnelly team are. Mickey Jones pops up here, then he's back in defence. Decky Casty's half forward, back in defence. They're comfortable in any position. Is what I've noticed.
They've learnt a lot probably from the run last year in Ulster, and they're probably the runs in before. They're probably confident in themselves, and they know what way they're going to play. And there's no panic on them. There's no rush, and it's good to see.
Yeah, all very relaxed as Decky Cassidy picks it up now. He was back defending a few moments ago. There he is, supporting his forwards now. Gets it back again, but not a good ball. Straight into the hands there on this occasion of Owen McGee. And McGee is tackled strongly.
Yeah.
Referee wards the free to the St Joseph's men. And back deep in their own half-back line. Will be taken by young Luke Harn. Harn delivers. Oh well, the idea was good, but the execution wasn't perfect. And there's a man who's impressed me in these opening 20 minutes. Is Aidan McKenna. He's everywhere on the pitch. Done particularly well there on that occasion. Back winning that ball, intercepting that ball. And now it's the experienced Mickey Jones to another experienced man, Decky Cassidy. Cassidy has support there from Jones. The referee said it was throwing ball. He was right beside it, so we can't really argue with that one.
Can't argue with that one.
So can Ederney move this one quick, but they're slow. It's still most of their half forward line, and our midfielders are back deep in their own half, so really they have to go short with this and work it out patiently as Chris Snow comes forward with the ball, lays it back then to Maguire into the midfielder. The midfielder is McGee. Owen McGee scored a wonderful goal last week to seal the game for Ederney against Kinnally. The ball is fed inside now to Decky McCusker, and McCusker is fouled, and the referee awards the free. A little bit of nonsense there between Micheál Glynn and his former teammate Paul McKervey.
Yeah.
As the ball is in the safe hands of Paul McCusker. Scored 4 points against Kinnally last week. Ball is in the hands of Sean Cassidy. Cassidy has to come lateral again, this time to Conor McGee. McGee crossfield now to Chris Snow. Snow, this is better, to Michael Maguire. A little bit of space for Maguire to operate in. The crossfield ball, not the best ball in the world, but it's retrieved there by Conor McGee. McGee, wearing number 9, gives it inside there. An opportunity now for Sean Cassidy. He goes for it first time. That's a wonderful effort from Sean Cassidy. What a super score. We talked about Micheál Glynn's scores, and well, that certainly matched them. That's a brilliant effort.
Fantastic score, but I think Ederney have to do that more. They have to get it, and they have to be more. They have to work the ball far better. But at the minute,
yeah, and I suppose the last couple of scores they've got through Paul McKervey and Sean Cassidy have been scores from distance, so they maybe need to take note of that they can score from that sort of distance rather than trying to work it into a packed defensive Derrygonnelly area. As Mickey Jones threads a good ball, looked like a good ball, but well read in that occasion by full back there. That's Michael Maguire to McCusker. That's Paul crossfield ball. Brothers over there, but he decides to leave it to McKervey on this occasion. Big strong fella is Paul McKervey. Lays the ball off now to Decky McCusker. McCusker looks up in front of the stand over on the far side of the field here. Brilliant facilities here, of course, in Dromore. 2 other pitches up at the back of the stand there. Super facilities as Michael Maguire comes forward for Ederney. Maguire takes on his man is Declan Cassidy, a tough opponent, and Cassidy knocks that ball out over the sideline, or did it come off the Ederney man? It came off the Ederney man, so the line ball will go the way of the men from Harpland, and meanwhile the referee wants to give some attention to Michael Jones. So we're approaching half time, 7-3. Your thoughts?
Yeah, look, I think probably Ederney would have. I don't think they would have taken it, but at the same time, maybe for probably how good Derrygonnelly have been, you probably could have felt that they could have been more ahead, maybe. But at the same time, Ederney have limited them scores. It's just probably with the wides that Ederney's kicked. They probably felt maybe even not playing that well that they could have been closer. But 7-3 is and also a fair reflection.
Yeah, 7-3. Some attention being applied to a number of players. Another man down in front of us here receiving attention is Lee Jones. Around the back of his ear, side of his neck.
Will tighten Lee.
Will do him no harm, as you
say.
Will
do him no harm.
Paul Ward giving a little bit of instructions. I suppose Paul will be looking to come back into this team, but still struggling to recover from that torn hamstring that he has suffered. What's that, nearly 16-18 months ago?
Yeah, look, it's a bad injury. It happens to anybody now. It's a very, very bad injury to recover from now. So hopefully soon we get to see him back out.
Yeah. stalwart of this Derrygonnelly Harps team, involved in so many of their big days. Paul McCusker and the two number 11s there. Garvin Jones, oh no, in fact it was Stephen McGullion. There's a bit of nonsense as Tiernan Daly lays the ball off there. Good tackling by Sean Castey. Back to Decky Castey. Decky feeds it into Eamon McHugh. Eamon comes striding forward. I hope you're enjoying this broadcast wherever you are in the world as the ball is fed in, but the referee's whistle has gone. Well, he did blow the whistle some time ago, so to give him his due. Can't be too hard on the Devonish man.
No, can't be too hard on the Devonish man. Yeah. No, I think that's probably the players probably seen the hand up, they didn't hear the whistle, and probably that's the...
We've seen very little of the mark in this game.
No, look, it's again, not unless it's going to be a specifically work, routine, for it, it is hard because both teams are getting a lot of numbers back quickly, so it does
negates it, doesn't it?
It does negate it, yeah.
So Glenn, there's another string to his bow, which I'm sure you will be noting. He's what 50,
55
meters out. Left foot, I don't think he caught that one fully, did he? And no, it's in the back of the net. It's gone the whole way in. The defender went up for it. He missed it. And so too then did End of Fire as he took his eye off the ball, I suppose, and into the back of the net it goes. So Micheál then, we have to give him the credit for the goal. I'm sure he wasn't going for it. Well, we know he wasn't going for it. But
yeah, I'd say maybe Stephen Gilroy might try to claim it, maybe, but it was just unfortunate. Maybe I think Enda thought Michael had it, and it just slipped on and through. So.
Well, it's a big score in this contest as Ryan Jones comes striding forward now. Jones has support if wanted. Jones goes for the score, goes for his jugular, over the bar it goes. 2 scores in the space of a minute. A goal from Micheál Glynn and that point from Ryan Jones means that Derrygonnelly now won 8-3, and well, it's a long road back.
It's looking that way there now, and at the minute now probably it's going to be damage limitation here for Ederney. They'll just probably want to hope to get out of here, but you never know. Look in the second half, they're not going to die on us. And
well, that was a big score. Referee looks at his watch. Another couple of minutes, I think, allowing for the water break, and we played 33 minutes, but 2 or 3 of those were filled with the water break, and there was a wee injury there a moment ago. So the referee will play another minute or so, I would think, as Ederney win possession of the football. They trail 1-8 to 3 points. The ball is in the hands of Paul McCusker. Feeds it forward there to Luke Harn. Harn feeds it inside there. Comes across here as far as Owen McGee. McGee goes forward. He's fouled, and the free will go the way of Ederney. And will Chris Snow fancy his chances at this one, or will Sean Cassidy take it short? Does. Looks to feed Decky McCusker, but Decky out-muscled on that occasion.
Yeah, I think it's probably one even. I know they're so many points behind, but look, it would have been one. Maybe I've seen Chris Snow on Sunday score one from that distance. It would have maybe now it would have put it as a point better here now, and look there.
Here come Derrygonnelly making a score on this side with Garvin McGinley. Back to Ronan McHugh. McHugh into Glynn. Glynn the danger man inside. Still Micheál Glynn. Glynn on the left foot. It has the height. Has it the accuracy? It's dropping over the bar. Oh well, look at it. Well, I didn't pay admission money to get in this evening, but for those who did...
Did you not pay admission money?
No, I didn't. So those... they told me to go on in.
George.
I will admit it.
George.
Well, they told me to go on in, so I didn't want to offend them by giving them
Did you at least give Ederney lotto money at least?
I did, I done that. So, but that's a super score by Micheál Glynn.
Fantastic.
As I was saying, worth admission money alone.
Oh, fantastic.
That's what, a tally of 1-4. Micheál Glynn is registered in this opening half, and that's an excellent return for a young man who's just 18, 19 years of age.
Yeah, look, I think it's a great return, but I think it's his all-round game, and I think it's the way that he links up with other players. And look, it's just like if he had frees do everything, and there's a lot of unselfish plays, but what I like about Micheál, just when he has the chance to go at him, he goes at him. I see Tiernan Daly there. He looks happy with that score at half time.
He looks content. So some of those scores that are coming in now is Kinnally won 8. Enniskillen 5 points, so significant 6-point lead there for the Kinnally men at half time. Also up at Shamrock Park, it's in Rosslea, 8 points, and it's Irvinstown 6 points. we have anything else there coming, but those are the scores. Half time there on the Derry Lynn game is Derry Lynn 110, Newton Butler 2 points. So that's a Newton Butler team that defeated Lisson-Ski at the weekend. They're getting well beat there. Another score coming in, and Sean Burns, our county treasurer, will be happy with this one. Balcoo 1-5, Lisson-Ski 5 points. Shane McCabe was in charge of them.
Shane and a battle with Peter Clark.
Peter Clark, yeah.
That's I think it's mentor and student there. Whenever
right.
when Peter took over Balcoo, he had Shane playing for him.
That's right, yeah. So some interesting scores. We'll wait on some of the other scores, and we'll feed them through to you as and when they come in. But first half, 1-9, Derrygonnelly have hit. That's an impressive tally.
That was an impressive tally, but we'll have to maybe temper that there probably with Ederney's maybe missing players and whatever. There's 4 or 5 players missing with Ederney, but look, Derrygonnelly look very, very composed. I know they give boys rest. They give Shane McGullion a rest on Sunday. They give Ryan Jones rest. They rested a few boys to give other boys chances. And I know Derrygonnelly look the fresher team, and they're probably using. We know they've got a good squad with the 3 teams that they have, and they're using this to their ability. And look, too, it's great for Derrygonnelly that they do have a lot of competition for places, and it keeps the boys going. So look, and with the style of play that they're playing, like it's very, very good. And with Glenn and McKenna up front, they're very, very, very good players, and probably Derrygonnelly.
They've probably have more options this year up front than what they've had over the last number of years.
They probably have, and that's probably, I'd say they'd been wishing maybe that Glenn was maybe a year older than he was last year, or even Gary McKenna. But look, you can't say that. I'd say probably that the experience that Derrygonnelly got from last year, and even the younger boys in the squad, has probably proved better for them this year coming through. So, and it's probably got the mentality going in the squad. And it's look, as I said, it's great to see from a manager's point, but it's good to see like the boys, even the county players are standing out and playing well. But when you see talents like Glenn and McKenna linking up well, like it does bode well. Yeah,
there seems to be some telepathy between those 2 lads, and I suppose they haven't played together. I wouldn't have thought. Gary's a wee bit older than Glenn, but evidently whatever they've been doing on the training ground is paying off, because there is that telepathy between them. I've noticed in that first half.
Oh, it's definitely, because I think they do work well together, but what the 2 of them do at the same time is that they're not. If they see the player in the better position, they are going to give it to him as well, and they are going to make them hard runs then off it then. So look, they don't seem to be too worried about getting their own scores, but they'll take it when the opportunity comes, and then they seem to be more keen on opening up for other ones. But look, you had they've been backed well in the middle of the field. You have Ryan Jones and Stephen McGullion, which gives them a great platform. And at the minute, Ederney, the 2 McGees are kind of up against it at the minute, So
yeah, Ryan Jones and Stephen McGullion both popped up with points apiece. So too Garvin Jones. So too Gary McKenna. One wonders where Colin Jones and Shane McGullion will fit into that team, but no doubt they will, because they're quality players and they will get their place. But I think it's fair to say that the guys who are playing tonight are showing that those quality type of players aren't really missed here tonight.
No, look, and that's probably what you want when you're a manager. Like, you want if your county players are out, you want the other people to step up. And look, and as I said, it all goes in form. With this shortened format, it goes in form. And if a player hasn't been playing and the other player has been knocking over, like me, Hoglin's knocking over points for fun here, you kind of have to ask yourself the question: are you going to take out a player on form, or maybe a player that hasn't played? So look, for them, and it's good for the players coming in too. I'm sure Derrygonnelly are happy, because they know now that they have a squad and that no one's guaranteed their place.
Yeah. And when you turn then and you look at Ederney, and I did mention in commentary, Ryan, the fact that Declan Deasley, Stephen McElroe, Andy Cassidy, Manus Maguire, Finbar Gillen, Marty McGrath, Mark McCauley, none of them playing, and then you throw into the mix 2 really, really experienced stalwarts who retired last year, Johnny Irwin and Aaron Dennison. You take that out of a team that maybe struggles for numbers to a certain extent, and you can see why they're depleted.
You would. If you look at Finbar Gillen, probably in the 2 games that I've seen here, whatever, and I've seen that he's been very, very good. He was the main man against Connolly. In the second half, he kind of dragged the boys back up, and he's just, as to put in a word, as a dog for them. And was Johnny Irwin. He's of the same ilk as well. Johnny he's always there. He's always to the fore, and whenever a battle was on, no matter if there were 10 points down or 1 point down, Johnny was always at the fore. And look, it's injuries, it's part and parcel, and probably now both teams now will be getting to the stage now, probably, as I'd say, probably after the first water break, they'll be looking to make subs and probably roll it on for next Sunday.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see now, maybe with this gap between the sides, whether Ederney would even risk the likes of Marty McGrath, Mark McCauley, and players like that are coming back from hamstring injuries, muscle injuries.
I probably can't see it at the minute. Well, it's hard to know. Look, if Ederney they'll not want to throw in the towel at the minute, and they'll want to go, but as the game goes on, they'll probably have to make that call on whether they're going to use Marty or not. And at the same time, Marty's a bit like myself. There's a lot of mileage in the clock, so they probably have to pick and choose when he can play if he has injuries, But if you're looking there at young Declan Cassidy there, the man only looks like he's defying logic.
I see Keys sitting on the sideline as well, and Neil Goller, two more stalwarts, and then you've young Oisin Smith, Ryan McGovern, young Gavin McGovern. They have a phenomenal side. But look at us, Derrygonnelly wait to come back out. We're going to take a short break, but we'll not now, because I see the game will start in a couple of minutes. Gives me an opportunity to advise you, if you want to send us through any of your messages, do so at Fermanagh GAA, and wherever you are in the world, we'll try and give you a mention here on Fermanagh GAA broadcast this evening. I know one man that's sunned himself on the beach out there in America. That's Marty Moss. He spends a lot of time sunning himself anyway, so this would be nothing new for him, taking up a place on the beach. And I know Marty, a former Ederney man and a great helper to Club Ederney, and a great host when Club Ederney were out there a couple of years ago, will be watching in tonight. I'm not so sure he'll be enjoying what he's seeing, but he'll certainly be enjoying getting his name mentioned, because he likes being in the limelight. And we also like to mention our new sponsors of the Senior Football Leagues. That's ETC Biomed, the Senior Football League, and they're also sponsors of tonight's broadcast. They're safety and sustainability in personal protective equipment, suppliers of all types of PPE, and if you want to find out more about them, log on to www.etcbiomed.com. So www.etcbiomed.com for further information about this transatlantic partnership company. And also Kevin and Bernard Farrell from the local convenience spar store in Derrygonnelly, who are also great supporters, as we know, of Derrygonnelly Harps and Fermanagh football. So the referee wants to have a word with one of their players. I think I've seen a wee bit of maybe a closed fist going in there, Ryan. Is that what he's dealing with?
No, I think the Ederney full back line have been. I think Mickey Cassidy and Chris Kelly have had words maybe with the full back line, more or less just to step it up and tighten it up. So,
well, the free will go the way in favour of the Derrygonnelly men, and it'll be Garvin Jones dead straight in front of the goals. This should be a simple one for the left-footed kicker. That's Garvin Jones. It's on its way over the bar. It goes. So first score of the second half goes the way of Garvin Jones. Stretches the lead out to 110 to 3 points. So good start for Derrygonnelly in the second half. Garvin Jones, the man with the point. As we see the referee now wanting a further word with one of the Ederney players here. Jared Goller, our referee from the Devonish club, has now indicated that play can resume, and play will resume in the shape of Enda Ferris. Ferris, long kick out, got great distance on that there, and down the go for it, but there's a foul on the Derrygonnelly man there. Well, has he changed his mind?
He's changed his
mind. It did look like a foul on the Ederney man, but Paul McCusker goes for the shot, an ambitious one. His brother Declan's in there, but that'll beat them all, and it goes to the right hand side and goes wide.
Again, he snatched at that there. Probably it was like Ederney maybe at the start of this first half. They were just snatching, trying to look and get that early score.
Yeah. Well, Jack Kelly is the man holding on to the number 1 jersey for Derrygonnelly Harps at the moment, and he places that ball expertly into the hands of Eamon McHugh, and Derrygonnelly going another attack in the shape of Lee Jones. Jones, good ball into Aidan McKenna. McKenna taken down on a free. That's not McKenna. He's been excellent tonight.
He's been very, very good. He's popping up everywhere.
He's everywhere.
He's going. He in for the breaking ball. He's just got on a lot of
He's been
ball.
a link man all over the place. And he's back now, heading back to do his defensive duties. So he's certainly a player.
Again, he was away there, and that's probably maybe the difference with the two teams at the minute. I think he made that 60-70 yard bust just to get ahead of the ball.
Yeah, and taking it at pace, Ryan, and then forcing the foul. As Gary McKenna is the man trusted with the freeze with the right foot, and Gary McKenna knocks that one over. So it's 1-11 to 3 points. Gary McKenna, the latest scorer, is second of the evening. Ball kicked out there, looking for wing half back. That's Niall McGrath. McGrath loses out, and here come Derrygonnelly again. They hold it in to Ryan Jones. Ryan Jones puts it over. There's a substitute there on the.
And Gavin
McGovern's
is on for Stephen Gilroy, looks like.
Yeah, so 24 is Gavin McGovern. He'll replace Stephen Gilroy. And the Ferris coming out, and played a lot of football out the field, so he'll be comfortable in possession. Good ball down towards Cassidy, but McHugh does well coming on the loop on there. Trying to pick it up was Niall McGrath, but Cassidy does well. It's the physical strength of this Derrygonnelly team too, Ryan. It's very notable here tonight.
It is. I think the challenges, whatever they're going in, they're just on the edge, and it's probably that's what you like.
As Ederney come forward now with Owen McGee. McGee feeds it out to Luke Harn. Harn gives it back to Chris Snow. Snow thought about it, feeds it inside instead. Eventually it comes into the hands of McGee, but McGee's shot has gone to the left hand side as we look out. Wide number 9.
Yeah, I think he had chances to go on there, like he snatched it again when they had the chance. And probably look, when you're trying to get back into the game, you will probably do that, you know. And it's just maybe Owen. Again, I've watched him probably in the last couple of games. He has been playing well. He has to take it. He has just to relax on that one.
Yeah, and that has been a feature of tonight's game, is the fact that the Ederney forwards are snatching at their shots, and when you do that, well, normally there's only one result, and that's a wide ball, and that unfortunately has been the situation for the St Joseph's men here tonight, because they've kicked 9 wides. As Derrygonnelly come out now strong and purposefully there with Steve McGullion. Strong play from McGullion, gets it down there to Gavin Jones. Good football by Derrygonnelly. Damon McHugh and McGullion makes a great run. So too does Stephen McGullion. He started the move, but it's gone to the left hand side and gone wide. But you know, they're a very, very well drilled unit, this Derrygonnelly side, and they're all working extremely hard. Some of the players, we could see them there, Ryan, they were sprinting off the ball to get back and support the man with the ball. That was phenomenal.
Oh, they were, and looking, I think Stephen again, he had more time. He probably, it's the fourth time he's been snatched at, you know. And again, I think Garvin probably he was looking for the ball inside too, so I'd say again Garvin might have a word with him after it.
Ball kicked out, good kick it is too. Looking there, well, it's evaded everybody and gone over the sideline there, looking for Owen McGee, but over the sideline goes. Line ball for Derrygonnelly, taken quickly. This man Aidan McKenna gets it to Decky Cassidy, crossfield ball now, looking for Stephen McGullion. McGullion looks up, has support from Decky Cassidy again. Cassidy turns inside, held back there by Sean Cassidy. The referee will award the free. One of the easier ones to call tonight, it has to be said. The ball goes in the hands of Aidan McKenna. McKenna coming forward with it again. McKenna toe to hand, still McKenna lays it to his captain Ryan Jones. McKenna goes forward again, gets the return from Jones, bounces the ball, gives it inside now into the safe hands there of McGullion or Jones back to his brother now Ryan. It's good football again. McKenna again involved. Great ball to Gavin McGinley, always good for a score, but watched all the way there by Enda Ferris. And now after working hard to get up the field, Derrygonnelly players all sprint or jog back into position. Of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 defenders back already. As the ball is fed in towards Cassidy, it goes for the mark, and well, that's the first mark of this evening. Kicked from outside the 45, Sean Cassidy was the man who dived on it to take it. 7.5 minutes played in the second half, and Sean Cassidy will be the man that will have this opportunity to pop it over the bar. It'll be his third point of the day if it goes over, but Cassidy's confidence not good on that kick, and that becomes the 10th wide.
And Mark McCauley's on here now, so for the last 20 or 23 to
going off is Darren McCusker. So Mark McCauley wearing 18 it is, Ryan, I think. Yeah. And he comes on there for Darren McCusker. Of course, Ryan Morris is another player that they drop out before the game as well for Ederney. So they really have been tortured with injuries. Oh, that's a wonderful take in the middle of the field. Super take. As Derrygonnelly come forward again. Brilliant bit of fielding by Stephen McGullion. Something we've become used to. Whether it being a maroon and gold or a green and white jersey. Great hands. As McGullion back to Techie Cassidy. He's all over the field as well. Back to McHugh back inside to Ryan Jones. Jones spread the play to who else but McKenna. McKenna gives it inside on this occasion to Gary McKenna. McKenna gets a shot away outside of the right boot. It's gone to the right hand side and gone wide. And post must be hard enough to score into up there. There's been a right few wides in that.
Oh,
them posts.
Have
you any problems with them?
Oh, I had plenty of problems kicking into them there that I get through. Plenty. I think I fisted it more maybe on there.
A kick out by Ferris, looking again there for the wing half back, and that was Niall McGrath. Well read again by Derrygonnelly, and well, it's a bit of a late challenge and a silly challenge there by Mark McCauley. And referee has told McCauley to move away, and Techie Cassidy gets back up onto his feet, and play can continue. 1-11 to 3 points in favour of Derrygonnelly. 9.5 minutes played here in the second half I should say. Referee now takes the ball forward. A little bit of nonsense still going on, and now a bit of pushing and shoving, and really the referee needs to get a handle on this, because there's a few bits of pushing going on, and we don't really want to see this. Nothing malicious in it, but
nothing malicious in it. I think probably there's maybe a few markers now probably going to be set down maybe for the championship, and I think if the two teams do meet.
Yeah, well, it's Mark McCauley's coming out, so well, Ederney have Ballinleck if my memory serves me right, and Derrygonnelly have Rosslea, so two stiff enough hurdles to overcome first and foremost.
There's two stiff enough. Ederney probably looking for a bit of payback from last year, and then I'd say the same as Rosslea, but at the minute now
hard to look past Derrygonnelly on this performance.
Yeah, on this performance is, but again we have to temper it probably with the amount of Ederney ones that are missing here, the players that are missing.
Yeah. Yellow card for Mark McCauley. He becomes just the second player to be yellow carded. Tiernan Daly, as Ryan eloquently put it in the first half, took one for the team. As kick would be taken by Derrygonnelly man, is it Gary McKenna, I think it is, yeah.
Yeah.
Just picking him out there, Gary McKenna with the free, and the ball goes over the bar. Another score, his third of the evening, and the game has certainly drifted away from, if it hadn't gone away from them at half time, it certainly drifted away in the second half, because 3 points in a row. Must be a change.
They're taking off Mihal Glynn here.
It's probably good management. Giving Glynn a little bit of time out.
Doesn't look at it. I think he wanted to stay on.
I think he wanted to stay on. Well, most players do, I suppose, to be fair, but I think it's not a bad call that Mihal Glynn departs the scene. He's put on an exhibition here, it has to be said, in this opening 42 minutes of the game. He's hit a tally of a goal and 4. Heavy challenge there. The referee. It's a very stop-start this second half.
It is, yeah.
Very fractious.
It does, and it's probably at the minute it suits Derrygonnelly. It suits Derrygonnelly. The more stop-start it becomes, it suits Derrygonnelly here now, because they can see out the game, and it's really not getting Ederney. Ederney want the game going and going, so they can get back into it. But at the minute now, it's the more stop-start it is, it's hard to get that momentum going.
Yeah, see, Jack Love is the man that's warming up there. Jack Love, of course, played in the championship final last year at cornerback, so another strong player to bring on.
Yeah.
Ryan McGovern has come on there wearing 18, so Ryan came on for Micheál Glynn. Plenty of good young players coming through Derrygonnelly as well. When you look at the likes of Ryan McGovern, Gavin McGovern who's on, and now Jack Love shaping up to come on. Oshin Smith still on the bench as well.
Yeah, look, they've got a lot of good young players which came in from a lot of good underage championship ones at under 16 level and at minor level, you know. So look, they're getting them through and they're getting them in for the future, you know, as well.
They're bringing them through. They're staying. And
they're staying. That's the main thing. So
I suppose that success does that, Ryan. You'd know that through your time here with Dromore.
Yeah, look, if people want to be part of it, you know, and the young players want to be part of it. And once they're part of it, that's it. See, once that they're in, they can see that there's a chance of winning, and see when they see that there's a chance of playing, they all want to be a part of it.
Yeah, it's good for Derrygonnelly and maybe it's scary for all the other teams in Fermanagh, but it's up to them to catch up with them. They are the county champions, 5 in a row, going for 6 this year. As Ederney are in possession of the football, crossfield ball to Michael Maguire. Michael has it 45 metres out. Ball tried to thread it through there by Paul McKervey, but Derrygonnelly had so many players backing up for a run from Paul Raymond McHugh, but well watched and well defended on this occasion by Ryan McGrath, the corner back for Ederney. Back there towards McKervey. McKervey lays it off there to Cassidy. Cassidy in possession, has support on this side with Luke Harn. Harn picks it up here, near side of the pitch. Inside it goes there towards McKervey again. McKervey lays it back across the field to Sean Cassidy. Cassidy feeds it over there to Conor McGee. McGee striding forward, does well. Still McGee. The solo just didn't work out for him. He's under a bit of pressure. Well, he's lucky to get a free there.
I think it was.
The ball was away when he went down.
Yeah, I think it was a harsh. It was hard in Tiernan. He did well. He didn't jump in, you know, but it's probably hard for us to see from over here. You know that probably the referees probably saw something that we've missed. You know, and again, they could have been a wee pullback maybe from T.
Yeah. Well, it's a free for Ederney. Mark McCauley is lining this up. Mark, good left foot on him. Mark takes a shot and over the bar. So Ederney's first score in since the 28th minute when Sean Cassidy got a point in the 28th minute of the first half. So we're into the water break again, Ryan. So that point from Mark McCauley reduces the gap 112 to 4 points, but this game's away from Ederney.
It's looking at unless they can pull a big 15 out of here at the minute, you know. So it's looking away from them here at the minute. So
yeah, some more scores coming through here. We have latest in Division 2. It's Balcouve stretched their lead out further against Lissenski to 7 to 8 points. Water break in the Newton Butler game against Derrylin is 112 to 4 points to Derrylin. Irvinstown at home to Rosslea. Rosslea are leading 110 to 7, so that's a good 6 point lead for the Rosslea men. Kinnally are comfortable 210 to 6 points against Enniskillen, so that's previously unbeaten Enniskillen 210 to 6. We look down to see if there's anything further. I'm looking of course for my own home club, Devonish, but I don't see anything on the Twitter feed that I'm looking through at the moment, so that's all we have at the moment.
No, watching Kinnally here on Sunday now, they were right into the game, and now against Ederney they had chances against Ederney. Now if they had maybe Tomas and Rue Corrigan on board, the two of them weren't playing, and young Murphy wasn't playing as well, so they were right in with Ederney here. So it's not much a surprise maybe that they're beating Enniskillen.
Yeah, I was a story with in saying that I was surprised that Enniskillen accounted for Ballinec with such in such style. They're comfortable winners, but I was just going to ask you as well, what's the story with the two Corrigans, both injured or?
Yeah, no, I think the two Corrigans just picked up slight strains and just on the last game, you know, just before the last warm up then, so it was more precaution with the two boys.
Message in here just to mortify the family back home. Hello from Marty Meehan in New Jersey. I'm on the Harps, so Marty Meehan sitting watching the game in his car. He has a big screen up on his car. That's very impressive there. That's how it's done in New Jersey. It's not done like that in Dromore, is it?
No, it's not. Is he driving? Hope not. He's watching that.
Well, Marty, thanks for tuning in. We hope you're enjoying it. I'm sure you are. Your home side are leading 112-4. So if anybody out there wants to say hello anywhere in the world, let us know. We hope you're enjoying this broadcast. A big thanks to our sponsors here tonight once again for their endorsement of the Fermanagh GA broadcasts. That's of course is Kevin and Bernadette Farrell from the local convenience bar store in Derrygonnelly. Another score coming in there is Maguire's Bridge 8 points, Adam C 11. So Adam C going for 3 wins in a row. That's a very impressive start to their second division campaign. As Ederney come forward looking for a score in the shape of McCusker. McCusker in on goal, chance.
Good save.
Good save by Jack Kelly, tapped over the bar. Paul McCusker, I think it was coming through there.
I think Jack Love's on for Mickey Jones.
Jack Love for Mickey Jones, yeah. Paul McCusker with a score, so 2 scores in a row. So good to see that Ederney certainly aren't going to lie down and roll over. They're going to battle to the end and see what they can get out of this game. 18 minutes played in the second half. That includes, of course, the water break, which lasts 2 or 3 minutes. I was just mentioning Kevin and Bernard Farrell from the Spar store in Derrygonnelly, and of course our other sponsors tonight, the ETC Biomed Senior Football League game here, sponsored by ETC Biomed. Score coming in from Devonish, it is, yeah, and they're leading at half time against Ballinalek. 10 points to Ballinalek's 2-2. So 10 points, 10 scores to 4 scores, but only leading by 2 points. So that's football. That's the joys.
That's the joys. You're a happy man, happy man.
Well, if they're continuing to lead at full time, I'll be happy. As Paul McCurvey comes forward with it. McCurvey gets it back there to Paul Maguire. Maguire, good ball inside there, looking for Owen McGee. McGee feeds it back there to Paul Maguire. Maguire lays it out over the far side. Now the referee has seen that there's no advantage accruing, I think, and wants to bring it back.
I think did he?
See Marty McGrath warming up over there, so he's going to come on. What did you think happened there, Ryan?
I thought he called the mark, did he? Or?
Right.
I don't know what the.
Well, he's inside the 45 and it was played from outside the 45. Did it travel 20 metres? I wasn't sure, but evidently it did. That's probably what he's called. And Macaulay lines this one up. A difficult kick from Macaulay. He scored one a few moments ago from a much easier position, but that one drifts badly to the left hand side and drifts wide. Another wide number 11 for the Ederney men. So I suppose it's damage limitation in these last 10 or 12 minutes, is it, for Ederney?
Yeah, look, it's probably looking to try and they're just probably trying to get with Marty McGrath and with they're going to bring him on and probably try to get a bit of football into the legs, you know. So look at the minute the game's it's gone out of here now for Derrygonnelly. They're just in cruise control here now.
Yeah, ball fed forward. Brilliant tackling there, by the way, by Declan. Decky Cast. I'm sure you've seen it on the screens when we were talking there, but absolutely brilliant tackling by Decky. He's been all over the place as well this evening. He never stops running. There he is again in the picture, looking to create an overlap now on this occasion, supporting it's the wing back there, Lee Jones, as the ball is back in the hands of Jones. Crossfield ball to Ryan Jones. Ryan has support there from McKenna if need be. Still Ryan Jones coming forward with it. Over the far side of the field it goes to Lee Jones. Feeds it inside. Decky Casty has it. Gets it across there to Conor Burns on there. We're in 21. I think Conor came on there for Steve McGullion as Derrygonnelly retained possession. Great ball in. Oh, he claimed the mark. He was thinking about the mark. Yeah, I think that's what it was. Ryan McGovern who came across there as Ferris comes out with it. Tackled strongly by 1, 2, 3 Derrygonnelly players, and the referee awards the free to.
Yeah, I think now there's again as well work by Derrygonnelly. I think young McGovern, he was thinking about what he was going to do.
I think he was sort of thinking when he had the ball in his hand, would he call the marker, would he go for the goal? And he took his eye off the main job.
Again, great tackling from the Derrygonnelly front three.
Yeah, they work so hard, Ryan, don't they?
They do very work hard.
As Chris Snow comes out with the ball. For Ederney, needs support, but Derrygonnelly still working so hard. Ronan McHugh on this occasion, he sprinted there, and he's still sprinting. He's putting in the tackles. Decky Cassidy, who else? There's McHugh again. Now McGovern gets round, and that's going to be a turnover. That's absolutely super stuff from Decky Cassidy's well into his 30s, but no bother to him.
It's only a number. No, look at, but again, you have to look. Again, that's been Ederney's problem all night. They're just not getting out quick enough. They're not turning the defence quick enough, and it's just been very lethargic coming out of defence, and Derrygonnelly were able to eat them up.
Yeah, great work rate by Ronan McHugh and Decky Cassidy. Forced the turnover, and the opportunity will now go the way of Gary McKenna. He's kicked 4 this evening already. This, I would think, would be number 5. He's in front of the goal. He's about 30 metres out. Kicks it right footed. Over the black spot it goes. Another score for Gary McKenna. Brings his tally in the second half to 3 alone and 1 in the first. So, good player, Gary McKenna too.
Gary McKenna
is a useful addition to this team.
He is, and looking, he's accurate and he's going, and again he's you can't beat accurate forwards, and even better was his work rate too as well.
Yeah. And a very reliable free taker, and Derrygonnelly are blessed with those. Colin Jones, of course, to come back in the team as well. As now Ryan Jones comes forward, strong play, links up with Decky, gets it back over here on this side of the field now. And it was held up there. Lee Jones was the man that was held up. Back it comes to Decky Cassidy again. Decky gets it forward there to Ryan Jones, back to Ronan McHugh. McHugh to Decky. Might fancy it, but outside of the right boot. And Decky's shot goes to the right hand side and goes wide. 4th wide of the game for Derrygonnelly. But the scoreline would suggest that they're more than comfortable in this game, 13 to 5 points. As we once again thank our sponsors for tonight's broadcast. That's Kevin and Bernard Farrell from the local convenience Spar store in Derrygonnelly, and ETC Biomed, safety and sustainability and personal protective equipment, suppliers of all types of PPE. Log on to www.etcbiomed.com for more information. As Ederney trying to get a score with Macaulay, snatched out somewhat, it's dropping, and Jack Kelly watches
keeps it in.
All the way, and comfortable in possession. And again, goalkeeper that's growing in confidence all the time.
The big man, Jack's doing well. He's doing well. His kickouts are improving immensely from what I've seen him from time in Fermanagh. So again, he's a solid fellow. He's always looking to learn too as well, big Jack.
Foul there now on Garvin Jones by Paul McCusker. Free will go the way of Derrygonnelly. Just looking to see that Marty McGrath come on. He did. I didn't see who went off, but Marty's on there wearing number 17.
Yeah.
Another substitute warms up down below us there for Derrygonnelly. That's Aaron Jones. Get a run out by the looks of things. Derrygonnelly now in the shape of Shane McGullion, or sorry, Jack Love, I should say. Jack Love.
Just coming off here for you.
Lee Jones now.
I think it could be Gardrum again. He looks to be tight here, maybe, so they could be.
Kelly, back it goes again, back to Aidan Kelly. He deserves a score. If one man deserves a score tonight, it's Aidan Kelly, but not on this occasion. It drifts to the right hand side and goes wide. Another sub now, as mentioned there a moment ago. That's Aaron Jones, another young player, as you called it right. Garvin McGinley is the man who makes way. Solid citizen, that's there for
he is. He's been a great stalwart for them and a great footballer, and he's just a great club man, great player as well for them.
Terrific engine up and down the field, and always can come up with a lot of crucial scores at crucial times, which is a great asset as well. As Decky McCusker now has an opportunity, thinking about the goal. still Decky. Was he taken down across? It goes, and the ball is kicked in there by Paul McKervey, but over the bar it goes. Well, it was an opportunity for a goal. I think Decky was looking for the free or the penalty, but that wasn't coming the way, so he flashed it across the goal, but it went over the bar. Paul McKervey leaning back a bit, wasn't he?
Yeah, look, he wouldn't want to look back in it again, Paul, you know, but look, it shows maybe when Ederney do go at them and when they do go direct, they have caused Derrygonnelly slight problems all the time, you know, and they probably haven't did that enough.
Yeah, and I see that in the last piece of action for Paul McCusker as he makes his way off, and I see Martin Bogle on the field of play there for Ederney. Ball breaking down, Ronan McHugh and Luke Harn contested there. Good tackling again, strong tackling. Ball on the ground. Referee, no big rush to come over to judge what's happening, and he decides he's going to throw the ball up. Not going to be flustered as Jared.
No, he's relaxed about it, and maybe that's the best way to be a referee.
Marty McGrath and Gardrum Jones were the two that compete for it. Well done by Marty McGrath, takes it well. Conor McGee gathers possession, gives it to Decky. McCusker dropped by McGee, but going in there and doing well and picking it up was Michael Maguire. But again, the tackles go in, strong tackling again by Derrygonnelly. A little bit of nonsense after it. We follow the play. Conor McGee's the man who has it, feeds it down inside there, looking to pick it up as the substitute there, Martin Bogle, but the tackles come in strong by Derrygonnelly and flicked out there by Conor McGee, but who'll pick it up on this occasion is Decky McCusker. McCusker comes inside, lays it off there to McGee, but again Ryan Jones with a strong challenge on that occasion, and free will go the way, and now there's a little bit of nonsense between Decky McCusker and one of the Derrygonnelly players. Well, sub on the field of play as well. But of nonsense, not a lot in it, but
bit of pushing and shoving, nothing major.
Yeah, sure the referee may want to have a word with sub who came on the field of play. But no, George relaxed enough, as I said earlier. Keep the play moving by the looks of things.
No, best way to keep it.
Yeah, well, he's going to have a word with Ryan Jones for maybe the initial tackle, is it?
I'd say probably going to pick Ryan.
Ryan probably will become the third player to pick up a yellow card. Yeah, yellow card for Ryan.
Now he'll hop the ball, will he? No.
Well, the Decky McCusker incident was off the ball, so maybe not. As Mark McCauley lines up this 45, knocks at the posts, kicks it left footed. Pulled it off the edge of the boot, up the Gopher. Marty McGrath tossed it for, but Ronan McHugh picks up the break ball. McHugh comes out. His manager Sean Flanagan tells him to get the head up, and he does. Finds never reliable. Decky casting inside to Ryan Jones. Ryan Jones to Tiernan Daly. Daly over the far side of the field to Lee Jones. Lee Jones striding forward again for Derrygonnelly. Gives it inside. Opportunity for substitute, that's Ryan McGovern. McGovern crossfield, back to Ryan Jones. Ryan has the experience, decided to pick up a more defensive role in these last few minutes to ensure that there's no goals conceded, and also be a playmaker for his side. He picks it up here, gives it crossfield now to Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones, Decky Cassidy comes forward with it, has support there if need be. Lays it off there to Garvin Jones. Garvin back to Aaron, back to Garvin. Good ball inside. McHugh, over it goes. Shot is blocked, somehow blocked on the line as well by a mixture of the two goalkeepers, Chris Snowden and the Ferrers, was it?
But no, it was great work by Derrygonnelly. They were patient.
Oh, heavy challenge there by Marty McGrath. Ronan McHugh, or Eamon McHugh. McHugh is a hardy foot soldier.
Yeah, Eamon's he's one of the hardiest boys I know from the time in Fermanagh. He was a hardy buck. Eamon says nothing. He didn't flinch quite, and he's a quiet man. And
done well there.
He done very well.
Yeah. But Ronan McHugh started that move way back in his own goals, and he was the man that ended up getting a shot. It just shows you the fluidity to this Derrygonnelly team. As Tiernan Daly comes out, gets it into the 32nd minute of this second half, so we're playing down the dying embers of this game, and all the Derrygonnelly fans that are tuned in watching this will be impressed by their side's performance. They're leading 113 to 6 points. They've certainly laid down a marker, and here they come again looking for more. The ball is in the hands of Jack Love. Jack Love shows that not only is he a good defender, but he has good feet on him as well. And he comes forward and pops that one over the bar, so they just have that fluidity all over the pitch.
Listen, probably the young fellas have come on here for Derrygonnelly, and they've showed maybe the pace maybe that young players bring, you know. So it's actually good. It's good for Derrygonnelly.
Yeah, referee looks at the whistle, looks at his watch, I should say. Blows the whistle, indicates where he wants this. Well, not sure what he's indicated. Has he indicated it's full time? See if he players drifting over towards the dugout.
I don't know. I think maybe that could be a couple of subs, is it?
See,
the subs have been made coming on now.
McGrath way off. Yeah, there's a few young lads on. I see here. James Devaney is at the zone. They're wearing 24.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of subs starting to come on for the last couple of seconds of this game. Derrygonnelly comfortable in all aspects. Well, as I say that, I was going to say very comfortable in possession and give the ball away.
A commentator's curse.
Yeah, he's now coming forward is Paul McKervey, but again, it's been the hallmark of tonight's game is the possession and the wide count that Ederney have notched up.
Yeah, look, I think it's probably in one way it's good as happening here in the league here for Ederney, you know, that they know that they're going to go away and work on all of this stuff as well, which is great, and it's probably in the best place to be when you know you have something to go and something to work on.
Yeah, well, I thought that was the final whistle, but Jared Goller is saying that another bit of play can be exercised. He's talking to the referee's son on Saturday night, who's asked me to give him a shout out, so I've got to give him a shout out. That's Adam Goller, good stalwart young man coming up through the ranks in the Devonish club. Me and him had a long conversation on Fermanagh football the other night, some of it not to be repeated, Ryan, in front of you anyway, so
that's all right. Well,
oh, he's a fan of yours.
Well used to it. Tiernan Daly, I thought Tiernan was going to take a pop of it. But
yeah, well, there's a man there who deserves a score. Is Decky. He's a terrific game, but coming across and fisting that one, like to fist it over the bar is Conor Burns. So as you say, Ryan, all the subs getting in on the scoring act now. That's the Conor Burns and Jack Love have come on and notched a couple of scores.
It was well worked there, and it was a great ball from Tiernan. I thought he was going to try one outside of the boot, you know, but look, it's a great score, well worked, and I think Derrygonnelly will be happy with this performance here tonight. More than happy.
Sean Flanagan and his management team will be more than delighted with what they've seen tonight. Excellent performance by so many players. We're into the 36th minute now, so we're definitely getting value for money.
Well, how long you haven't paid in? So
I'm talking about.
Don't you start coming there.
I'm talking about those that are listening tonight and watching.
Oh, Jared.
As the ball is held there on that occasion by Ederney's wing half forward, that's Paul McKervey, but ball given away.
I think it's just one of them nights for Ederney. The ball bounced off there for Sean, and any other night it would have stuck, you know, or would have bounced in Ederney man. So
yeah, well, coming forward now for Derrygonnelly. Well, the ball given away, so or a free ball foul, I should say. We are in the dying embers of the game. Marty McGrath flicks it intelligently here to the side, but the attack is going in strong by Ryan Jones on Sean Martin Bogle. And the free will go for Marty McGrath and Ederney. Fed across the pitch there. Owen Donnelly, another young man, only 18 years of age, is on the field of play. Owen gets his first touch probably in senior football. Gives it Mr. Own blood in that one, man, so there is. As the ball is held there by Chris Snow. And Snow gives it inside there looking for John McInhill. Another sub on the field of play as Chris Snow goes to ground, but Derrygonnelly still putting in the hits and putting in the turnovers and coming out now as the final whistle blows, and it's a victory, and very, very comprehensive victory it is for the Derrygonnelly men. It's a final score of 115 to 6 points, and well, it has to be said, Ryan, thoroughly deserved victory for Derrygonnelly in this ECD Biomed, ETC Biomed Senior Football Round 3 game.
Yeah, look, thoroughly deserved. I think probably Ederney probably weakened with the squad, that probably with injuries or whatever, probably, and they probably had to make a call whether they want to either play them tonight or play them on Sunday. But again, you have to be full credit to Derrygonnelly. They were without Connell, they were without Shane McGullion, and they have a few other boys to come back in there. They've been using the squad well, and you'd look at a lot of the players have looked after themselves in the lockdown as well. So look, I'd say Derrygonnelly are experienced enough to know that Ederney weren't at full tilt tonight, and they weren't at so, but at the same time they'll be glad of the 2 points.
Yeah, and look, I suppose, bearing in mind as you've alluded to, the problems that Ederney have, you can't take away from what has been a very, very impressive performance all over the pitch. There's just no weak links that I can see in that team, and more big name players to come into it as well.
Yeah, look, you had a lot of good solid performances right throughout the team. You had Tiernan, you had Lee Jones there, you had Eamon McHugh, and probably Micheál Glynn probably adds them something different up front. Yeah. That probably he gives them that a bit of power, a bit of that sparkle up front, which does make it dangerous. And probably now any other team now, they know they're going to have to designate someone to mark them. So usually when you designate your top player, then it opens up space for it opens up space for the other forwards. Like you seen, like Gardrum got more space out of it, and you seen young Gary McKenna got space out of it as well, and it all helps for Derrygonnelly.
He's an exciting prospect, Micheál Glynn, and I'm not going to put you on the spot here at all tonight in your role as Fermanagh manager, but just looking at it from a Fermanagh perspective, from a Derrygonnelly perspective, and you don't want to place a big burden on young shoulders, but he is a really, really exciting talent by the looks of things.
Oh, he is, and look, I think as I said, like he seems to be a real good. He's a real good cub behind it. Works really hard and worked him. Like I've already spoke to him already. Maybe coming in this here, I told him maybe just to go out and enjoy the club. Later on, the Tiernan Daly there, he's
offering you some water.
He's offering me some water.
You must be looking at his place on the team.
I don't know, Tiernan is good, but no, look, I think I spoke to Micheál probably before it, and she just told him just to go out and enjoy the club football. And I think, look, if he's with Derrygonnelly, he knows us all about anyway. But look, it's great to see in senior football that he can go out and do that there and play like that there. Yeah,
and he's surrounded by a lot of experienced players as well. And there's two things on that. One, that'll help develop him, but he certainly doesn't look out of place, amongst them lads. Sure, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't. Probably a good thing about being Fermanagh manager, and probably this year that you do is probably with the Fermanagh, it is always kind of seen as a club. And I know Derrygonnelly had played Killyclahar in a friendly probably, and Mark Henry was kind enough to phone me about it, and so me and Mark had a discussion about Micheál and like in Derrygonnelly and stuff like that. There, it always helps, and Mark thought he was up to the standard, of playing club senior football. So it was great to see. But again, look, you can't take it away here from Ederney with the players that they're missing. But again, I think Micheál was helped maybe by the defence and maybe by the middle of the field to give them a fantastic base. But again, it was the hard work that set probably Derrygonnelly and set them on the way. It's probably a lot of the unseen work that probably you don't see watching the game. Yeah. That you can see when you're here at the match. Yeah, and I did mention it a few times in the commentary and at half time is that partnership as well between himself and Gary McKenna looked exciting. Yes, and it added up something. And again, from now, teams probably, if they are going to designate their best marker to mark Micheál, it opens up space for young McKenna as well. And look, that's what I want. But look, I don't think they're going to get too carried away with it. I think they're looking now at the championship, and they're looking on now further afield as well, like for that championship. But I know it's a tough week in the clubs or whatever, but the clubs have been putting in the work to play, and it's just good to see, and it's great for Derrygonnelly coming here now because it will have increased competition. Yeah, and from an Ederney perspective, is that a major setback, or can they take cognizance of the fact that they have
missing a lot of players tonight, and just cast that one just firmly to the dustbin, or will that have an impact on them, a mental impact on them?
No, I don't think so. I think Ederney they're going to take whatever positives they can about it. I think probably with the players they had missing, they probably could have just chalked this one off and says, right, we'll just go out and try to give it as best as we can performances. Again, if it was Ederney did kick themselves out of the way, if they had scored maybe half their wides, the game would have been a lot tighter, and maybe it does suck energy out of you when you are missing all them scores. And look, if they had got them a couple of scores at the start, the game mightn't have flowed as easy. And sometimes you have to remember, maybe when the game's flowing easy, football's a lot easier. Maybe Derrygonnelly got that tonight, and look, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of pain in this here for Ederney. I'm sure there's going to be a driving point for them that they're going to use for the rest of the season. So
yeah, no, it's a good point, because I mean, I suppose at the end of the game you think back, and yeah, them wides, 7 wides in the first half as opposed to Derrygonnelly's 1, and the game was really close for long periods until that goal, and it was a fortuitous goal from Micheál Glynn. It came in the 31st minute, the 34th minute of the half. So Ederney weren't too far away. It was 7-2, 8-3, and those wides killed them before that goal arrived.
It was the goal killed them, and probably the biggest score after killed them that there was Ryan Jones's point after from the kick out. Then it was the one that kind of it was not the nail in the coffin, but you were getting very close to it anyway. But look, this for fortuitous enough, but again, just Ederney probably just snatched at a few chances maybe when they had chances, and when they were missing Finbar Gillen, who's probably, to me, he's the man that holds that defence together. He's the player that puts in the hits. He's the player that sets up a lot of plays. Against Rosslea, he was man of the match here, up and down the field here, and then again the second half against Connolly, when they were looking for a player to dig them out, Finbar was that player, so he was a massive loss for them tonight. So when you take one of your leaders of that there, it does take a lot. But look, as I said, it's only the league, and as every team tells you, the main crack in GA is the championship.
Yeah, and that's what I'd only be looking forward to is that championship encounter against Ballinlack, and that will be a belter, I'm sure.
Oh, look, it's going to be a great game. Ballinlack have got a lot of good young players, and they'll be looking to improve on last year, and they'll be looking trying to go one step further.
Yeah, we're just getting some feed through here on score lines tonight, and full time from Derrylin is Derrylin 115, Newton Butler 7 points, so 18-7. Comprehensive victory for the O'Connells there. Full-time score, no, half-time score, that is, from the Devonish game. I think I give you that. It was 7 points to 1-2. In the Skilling Gales, comprehensive victory. Sorry, the other way around. Connolly, a comprehensive victory over Enniskillen Gales, 3-12 to 9 points. So that'll make people sit up and take notice that score. Full-time from Irvinstown, and a good victory for the men from Rosslea, 113 to 110. I see the Devonish score coming in, 311 to 19. I think that's a defeat for Devonish. Yeah, 1 point defeat.
1 point defeat.
Good victory for Ballinlack down in Garrison tonight, 311 to 19 points. There were a couple of points down at half time, so they've come back well and won that game. Connolly, we've talked about that, their big victory over Enniskillen. Rosslea, a good victory over Irvinstown. We're just flicking through here, Ryan, to see if there's any others. We'll just refresh. Well, there's one coming through there now, is the Belcoo game, and that's Belcoo 210, Lisnaskey 10 points. So the student got one over the master.
The master, so
Shane McCabe and Mr. Clark, Peter Clark.
I'd say McCabe will be on to me tonight, So
yeah, he'll be pleased with that one.
He's unbeaten in his managerial career, so he's
2 wins and a draw, so he'll be happy enough with that. So don't think there's anything further coming through there. We'll hand that one back. I know that on Sunday afternoon it's Brewster Park, and the game, the broadcast is going out at 1 o'clock, is what I'm told, and it's in the Skilling Gales at home to Devonish. Both of them defeated tonight, so that's a very important game for both sides. Devonish are sitting on just the 1 point, and now Enniskillen sitting on the 3 points, so both will be anxious for a victory there. One thinks.
Yeah, definitely. I think, and again, it's a sort of game too that it's going to be a marker for on down the line, because I say both teams both teams are in the intermediate championship, and both teams will probably have an eye in the intermediate championship as well. I know Enniskillen probably thought maybe they could have did it last year, whatever, but they were beat by a very good Connolly team who's showing their worth now. Devonish probably they were relegated from senior. They'll want to come back up again. So it's a chance maybe for both teams to put out a bit of a marker through each other and see what the story is like around each other. But no, it's
a lot of good teams in intermediate football. You know, Irvin's turning in that championship as well. Balcoo, Lisnaskea, and I suppose Adamsea are sitting top of the league, and nobody's talking about them. But most people are talking about Devonish and Enniskillen as probably, if they can be kept apart, that maybe they're the two teams that will contest that final. But
yeah, look, I think you probably have to chat about them probably from the history of the two clubs. Probably is always going to make sure that you are going to be talking about them, and they always have to be. But look, you've got a lot of good teams. I think Pat Caddens and Auckland C, so he's doing a real good job. And it's good to see, and it's good to see a good competitive championship, and it's good there, so you can get out and watch it and get up and hopefully find good players. But no, it's what you want to see at this time of year.
So
football.
plenty of football for yourself this weather. You'll be at a league game, I'm sure, on Sunday as well.
Yeah, look, I think probably I've been watching a lot of the Division 1 football, so we'll probably get down here now, see some of the Division 2 games, probably head out to a Derrygonnelly game hopefully, or a Maguire's Bridge game. So we've been watching a lot of football of that, so you have to go down and see what's in Division 2 as well. So
good stuff. Well, Ryan, thanks for joining us here tonight on Fermanagh GA TV. You're no stranger to TV, but I think this is your debut, is it, on Fermanagh GA TV?
I think it is, Jared. I think it is. It's just that's probably one of the best days of my life, so I'm very happy about it. Like,
don't be getting carried away. Well, on a final note, I know Ryan's very pleased and excited. We hope everybody that was tuned in tonight also enjoyed this broadcast. I know Marty Moss over there in America will certainly have enjoyed watching. Well, he might have enjoyed the performance of Ederney, but he'll have enjoyed watching his home club playing out there as he lies out soaks up the rays out there on the beach in America. And the Meehan lad from Boston that was tuned in there as well. But big thanks, of course, to our sponsors of tonight's broadcast. That's Kevin and Bernard Farrell from the Spar store in Derrygonnelly, great supporters of Derrygonnelly and Fermanagh GA. And of course the new sponsor of the Senior Football League, that's ETC Biomed, who are also joint sponsors of tonight's broadcast. ETC Biomed, safety and sustainability in personal protective equipment, suppliers of all types of PPE, and log on to their website at www.etcbiomed.com for further information about this transatlantic partnership company. So thank you for your company tonight. Thank you to all the team that are working behind the scenes on camera and sound and coordination and production. Too many to name tonight. Thanks for all their help and assistance, and hopefully we'll see you again on Sunday when we bring the setup to Brewster Park in Enniskillen for a 1 p.m. throw-in time. I know it may well have been put out as a 3 p.m. or 3:30 p.m. throw-in time, but it's a 1 p.m. throw-in time. We hopefully join up with you then. So from Ryan and myself, on behalf of all involved with Fermanagh GA, thank you for your company, and until we meet again, slán go fóill.